Hey crafty friends, it's Joy here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a super fun card using some Spellbinders dies. This is the Ciao dies, and I have die cut this cute scooter from a teal cardstock, and then these are the pieces of the scooter that go together. So I have them laid out so you can see what goes with what and what that looks like. Those pieces there are for the tire. This is just part of the scooter, like the front fender, the seat. You have more of the tires, you have lights, and then you have these cute balloons that can spell ciao or love. I did die cutting from colored cardstock, but I am going to use Copic markers to color the two of the front lights yellow and then the back light red. It was just quicker and easier to cut those from white cardstock and then just color them with Copic markers. So I'm just using my Pick Pro tool to hold that in place, and I can color around on that little tiny die cut. Now I am going to clean up this alcohol from my alcohol ink markers because I know I'll just get my card in it somehow and mess it up. So I'm just gonna get that cleaned off my work surface. And then we can start putting this together. So you have, I guess, the back fender, and I showed that you have this piece here that has these little die cut vents, and then you have the solid piece that I have die cut from a black cardstock. And everything I used is listed and linked below in the description for you guys. And then I'm going to put the tires together, so I have the white piece on the actual tire, so the rim, and then I decided to use a gold glitter cardstock, but you could use like a silver mirror cardstock or a silver glitter cardstock. That would be cute too, but I decided to bring in some gold glitter. Now let's get our fender in place here. This is our front fender. There is not two pieces to this. This is just one piece. And I'm going to adhere that down. Just a little bit of liquid glue. And then we can get our back fender piece put on. I can just pop that in place. And then this will make it easy for our tires to also adhere because we have these other pieces down. I just think this little scooter is so darling. Let's add our tire to the back here. I'm gonna make sure I have some glue on my glitter part as well. And liquid glue to me works the best when you are using a glitter cardstock. It just really grabs onto that glitter nicely. And then let's put our cute front tire in place. And we have the beginnings of our cute scooter. I thought it would be fun to give it a little pop of color, so that's why I did a pink seat. We have our yellow light here that goes on the bottom, so it's kind of that little domed piece that's going to go on the bottom. Then you have this little sliver type piece that will go on the top front for your light. And then the back piece, or the back light, actually has a diagonal embossed line from the die, and I just lined that up with the back of the scooter here, and so then it fit perfectly and it was at the right angle, if that makes sense. And then let's glue our little pop of color on here. I decided to keep the color scheme with the elements of the dies the same. So now I'm going to take the balloon and the balloon strings and die cut that from black cardstock. I'm actually going to spell out the word ciao because I'm trying to learn Italian, so to me it was just a lot of fun to do it that way. Then I'm going to use the same pink cardstock from my seat. I'm going to use this teal, this is mermaid cardstock from Fawn, and then my gold glitter cardstock. So I'm going to do two of the letters from pink. So I'm die cutting the letters first. So it's just going to die cut out the letter. Then you have to take that balloon shape and place it back over the die and die cut it again. This is how I like to do it. You probably could lay it and do it all once, but I know me, I would get it crooked. So I did it the longer way. So I'm going to finish die cutting this out. Now I've got my two pink letters. So the C and the O are in pink. The A is in that mermaid and the I is in the gold glitter. And then we're going to create this really fun background. So we'll do that here in just a second. Let's glue our balloons together. And again, you can also spell the word love. So now you can see that you've got this black glitter. Obviously you could do any color behind this. Depending on your color scheme, it could go any which way. You could do all the balloons in one color, like a white color, and then do all the background piece that's going to show through the letters in different colors as well. So that's also a fun idea. Then we have our balloon strings that I'm going to adhere this down to, get all of our pieces adhered, and then we can work on our background, which turned out to be so fun. I did some fun stenciling. I just love how this card turned out. It just feels so very cheerful, which is really nice right now. Let's pop our O in place, and now we have our cute balloons. Okay, I have an A2 size piece of white cardstock from Neenah. I'm going to use some stencils from Fawn. This is the Hillside stencil. I'm going to tape that in place and use Distress Oxide ink and Mowed Lawn to give us some grass. And I'm going to ink that up. I'm doing darker at the top, lighter towards the bottom. And what I love about these stencils is that it's also a mask, which is going to be perfect because I want to give it a sunrise type of look. And so we're going to use the Fawn Sunray background stencil. Hillside mask over the part that we just ink blended back in place. I did spray some pixie spray on the back of this stencil here, so I let that dry for just a minute, probably about 30 seconds actually, and then I could adhere that down. We are going to be using some dried marigold and squeezed lemonade to give us that sunrise look. So I'm going to give that a good ink blend. I definitely want to go darker when I'm stenciling, because when I peel back the stencil, we're going to ink blend back over it to soften that. That's what I like to do anyways. And so I want to make sure that those sun rays were nice and dark, so I can now just ink blend over, not erasing it all, but getting a nice good blend so it has a much softer background. So let's just get that dried marigold back in place. I love that color. I think it's so pretty. And then blending a little bit more with that squeezed lemonade. We can peel this back, and then we have our background. Let's do some splatter, you guys. I've been so into the splatter. As you guys know, I am using Spellbinders Splatter White. A little bit of water on your work surface, a tiny bit of the splatter white on your paintbrush. You blend it and then just splatter the background. I'm also going to bring in Honeybee Stamps Bee Shimmery, because I do want some sparkle, and I'm also going to add something else that gives it a little sparkle and totally finishes off the card. So I want to give this a nice good shake. I put a little bit on my work surface and then splatter. I'm concentrating the splatter more in the sun rays. I don't mind if a little bit gets on the grass, because to me it's like the sun's coming up, you're getting this sparkle in the air, and it just is kind of everywhere. So that was my thought process. Let's add some foam adhesive squares to our little scooter here. We're going to pop this in place just right in the center of our grass. And then we can also place our balloons. Everything will be popped up with foam tape. I don't think it would be a joy card if it wasn't popped up with foam tape. So if I start not popping things up, maybe it's a signal I need help. I'm totally teasing. So let's put these in place. I do want them to be a little offset from each other. And then I have the sentiment that was on my desk. This is from Tailored Expressions. It says, "Look at you being awesome." So the whole sentiment's going to say, "Ciao, look at you being awesome." But I do need to move up my balloon a little bit. I didn't want to cover it so much, and I did not want to cover the handlebars on the scooter. So we're going to put that in place. And then we are going to add some Twinkle Twinkle stars from Trinity stamps. Sorry guys. And they're kind of just this kind of clear white silvery, but it's not silver, and they sparkle so good with that bee shimmery on the background. I love how this sparkle turned out, and these stars totally finished off this background. You know guys, I usually use a gold sequence, but I do love these stars from Trinity stamps, so I'm glad I went and looked through my stash, and once I saw that they were stars, I'm like, this totally fits. Let's look at that sparkle. Isn't that stunning? I love this whole die set. This whole card just kind of makes me feel good. Thank you guys so very much for stopping by and watching. I hope that you feel inspired by this card, and I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.